Ladies and gentlemen, live from the famous ACME Comedy Theatre in Hollywood, this is the ACME Radio Hour featuring the Liquid Radio Players. And now, please welcome to our stage, Mr. Brian St. Breiter.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Our show's canceled. Good night. What? You're insisting I stay? Why, all right. We were going to do a fantastic horror show for you tonight, but our script was mysteriously stolen. But, based on your suggestions, perhaps we can do our own show, improvised. How does that sound? I'm sorry I couldn't hear you over the applause. That's better. Well, in order for us to do a horror show, we need a horror title for our horror show. So shout out a horrific title, please, anyone. Yes? Right, there's something maybe that's never been done before. Okay, come on, give me some, shout out a made-up title that's never been done. I'm sorry, what? Kitty China has the night. Kitty Chai has the night. Kitty Chai has a knife. Kitty Chai has a knife. Kitty Chai has a knife. I like that. Very good. Kitty Chai has a knife. Now, in order for us to do our show tonight, we need character for our story players for tonight, and I think one of them would be Kitty Chai. I think that would be a great name. And I could have another female's name. You, young lady with the white shirt and the glasses, what's your name? Hillary. And what street did you grow up on, Hillary? Serena. Hillary Serena. That sounds wonderful. Yes, and you, lovely woman with the glasses in the row in front of her. What was your neighbor's name? A man? I'm sorry? Millicent. Millicent. And what was the name of your elementary school?
Darby.
Millicent Darby, yes. Millicent Darby. And now, you, sir, do you have a favorite uncle growing up?
Terry.
Terry, and what street did you grow up on, sir?
Jardinus.
Cherry Jardinus. That name rings a bell. Terry Jardinus. And can I have a foreboding-sounding man's name? Could be foreign, doesn't have to be. Ladies? Anyone? Shout it out, please. Lester. Now, anybody have a brother here? Raise your hand. Anyone have a brother? What's your brother's name, man? Charles. And what's your grandfather's name?
Alfred.
Charles Alfred. And anybody have a pet? Anyone? Yes, shout out your pet's name. Peanut. All right, and Peanut. Okay, Peanut. Now we need people who are sponsors for tonight's show. Sir, what is it that you're carrying in your hand? Perrier water. Delicious Perrier water. That is a lovely thing. And something that you've used in your kitchen in the last week or month. Anyone? Yes? A tortilla. And what kind of tortilla? Flour tortillas. Flour tortillas. Let's call them Rositas. You look like a Rosita, I'll just call you that. Rositas, flour tortillas. And one more suggestion, a brand of cigarettes. Anyone who likes to smoke? Anyone? A brand of cigarettes? Marlboro cigarettes. Marlboro cigarettes. We have our show for tonight. Kitty Chai has a knife. Starring Kitty Chai, Hillary Serena, Millicent Darby, Terry Jardinus, Lester, Charles Alfred, and Peanut. Tonight's show is brought to you by Perrier Water, Rosita's Flour Tortillas, and Marlboro Cigarettes. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for the ACME Radio Hour half hour and the Liquid Radio Players! Radio players here live to present to you a horror tale. Ladies and gentlemen, as the curtain is closed behind me, I ask that you prepare yourselves for a horrific nightmare story. Those of you listening at home, I warn you, if you are easily frightened or break wind at the drop of a hat, turn off your radio now, because tonight's chilling tale is meant to chill your bones to the very core. First, I'd like to introduce our musician for tonight's show, Jonathan Green. Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday, Jonathan Green. Yes. And our cast of characters tonight in our horrific tale of horror. Kitty Chai has a knife. Kitty Chai, played by Maurissa Afanador. The first woman on death row in the United States. A killer, heartless, cruel, evil, maniacal, insane. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, she'll be put to death before your very eyes. Kitty Chai! You'll meet the rest of our doomed cast in tonight's show as soon as we begin. I'll just take this moment to present to you the sounds that you may hear in tonight's show. The sound of a man walking into a room. Yes, he's walking up the stairs. He's fishing for his keys. Is the door locked? Let's see. He opens the door, comes in, pulls up a chair, takes a pistol, puts it into his mouth. No, ladies and gentlemen, he won't pull the trigger. Not yet, anyway. Those are the magic Foley sounds of Peahl Hungerford. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I've just been given the sign that our show is about to begin, and our scripts are being handed out. Paul, are they ready yet, sir?
On the way.
Here they are. Here they come. As our scripts are being handed out, let me tell you a little bit about Marlboro cigarettes. Marlboro cigarettes are the longest burning cigarettes. Why, I have one burning backstage. It's waiting for me. When I go back after tonight's show, I'll suck down a whole pack. That's what keeps my voice so strong and clean. The smoke that fills my lungs with black, delicious smoke is Marlboro cigarettes. It's the only kind me and my 4-year-old son enjoy. Thanks, Marlboro. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the air in 3. Chilling tales, strange tales, queer tales. I invite you to draw the curtain back to your imagination and to the deepest, darkest corner of your mind, where fear lives, hiding, waiting until you least expect it. When its cold grip grabs you by the throat and squeezes the life out of you, remember, it's just your imagination. Our story begins as the warden, one Charles Alfred, a tall, slender man, is explaining to his staff that tonight one Kitty Chai will be put to death in 15 minutes from now. He explains to the gallery of the families of the victims of Kitty that they will witness a woman lose her life.
All right, my friends, listen up.
This is not easy for a man of my stature to say. Madam, please calm yourself. As you know, the vile, heinous, murderess Kitty Chai has been caught and put to justice and has now been rotting here in the penitentiary for several months. The long list of victims that she has claimed far outweigh anything imagination can conjure up. But tonight, yes, tonight, justice will be served. For right here in this very chamber, in this electric chair, she will lose her life.
That's right. A woman had never been put to death in the state of Idaho before. Tonight was the first time. Kitty Chai had a knife and knew how to use it. She had killed 21 people. 21 victims' families were there to witness. The warden continued with his warnings of what they might see.
Now then, an execution is never a beautiful or frivolous endeavor to watch. Madam, sirs, if such a sight is too vile or gruesome, I please beg you look away. While a small shred of your soul might find comfort in that such a vile woman shall finally be put to justice. Hatred is never a good thing. It feeds off the soul and agonizes it, and if it's too much to bear, please, for your sanity, for your sake.
Warden?
Yes.
I am Carol Ann Johnson. Kitty Chai killed my son. Will she be able to see us? And how do we know that this execution will work on a woman? A woman's never been executed before.
No, it is indeed uncharted waters that we are indeed sailing into. Rest assured, this one-way mirror window will ensure that Kitty doesn't see any of you as you look on in horror. But my staff is hard at work, utilizing and maintaining the electric bolts and voltage that goes through this chair. Once the switch is thrown, she will not survive.
I don't trust it.
Meanwhile, nearby in an adjoining cell, one Hillary Serena, a tough, no-good thug, was talking to her soon-to-be ex-cellmate, Kitty Chai, trying to cheer her up while Kitty enjoyed her last meal.
So that looks great and stuff. They really gave you some good pork chops there.
I'm not hungry anymore. Here, you can finish the pork chop.
What? Oh, great. Thanks so much.
I guess I'd be thinking a lot this evening if I haven't thought it all through. I guess it's time for my end, Hillary. It's just about time this weight has been lifted.
Kitty took it well. She had a hobby of whittling wax figures of her victims. She had 21 wax figures, all with knives stabbed into their chests, that she displayed throughout her cell.
And all men.
I didn't used to like these, but you know what? They've been growing on me ever since you started whittling them. I'm gonna miss them. Kitty, could I possibly keep them here in the cell with me?
Kitty got mad.
No! They're mine. They couldn't be with me in life. Well, they'll be with me in wax. And now they'll be with me until eternity.
Ah! Kitty, you never hit me before. I mean, I didn't know it was so special about them.
Hey, you two broads, settle down over there.
Don't! Come on! Kitty! Not in my mouth, the wax
Suddenly,
is
at that
melting in my
moment,
mouth.
suddenly the head guard came.
Hey, keep it down in there!
Just in time. He saved Hillary's life. It was Terry Gardinas, the most hated guard in the entire penitentiary.
Get that wax out of my mouth and take me out of this crazy dame's cell.
Oh, you get what's coming to you, Kitty. You think you're gonna make it 22 before you get to that chair? You got another think coming.
Ah, you and your words. Pretty soon they're not gonna mean nothing anymore.
Not to you, not where you're going.
Huh.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to separate you two. Your last hour will be in solitary.
Do it, I'm scared of that dame. She's been nothing but trouble. I thought she was my friend, but there's something queer about her.
Huh. You think there's nothing I can do in solitary? Well.
And with that, Hilary Serena left. She went to the area where the trustees went, leaving the guard there with Kitty. She had a maniacal look in her eye, like she wasn't afraid and was looking forward to it.
What will you do, Terry? You can't torture me anymore.
I can just keep a watchful eye on you for the next 60 minutes.
And perhaps, Terry, I will be keeping a watchful eye on you.
What did she mean by that? Queer as it was. A queer tale this spider is spinning, isn't it? Let's take a brief respite from this horrific tale to find out about a delicious drink called Perrier.
Wetteress!
Yes, dear.
I've been wetting 15 minutes and I'm parched.
Oh, my. Well, we do not just get you flat water at Chez Peahl.
Yes, you've given me this tap water, this glass of wine, everything I do not need. I need one thing to sate my thirst.
Well, we took some extra time to carbonate the very best spring water. He'll try a little of this.
How could it be? Here in the city of New York, it tastes just like the delicious water which you keep pouring, even as I sip it. From my hometown of Perrier-le-Bain.
It is because it is from Perrier-le-Bain. It is like champagne with no alcohol.
Comment?
C'est vrai.
Well, say, I'd like another glass.
Tomorrow, monsieur.
Okay, keep pouring, because I'll just open up my mouth and drink it. But before I start guzzling, let me just say thanks, Perrier.
Perrier. Yes, Perrier. The French may be cowards and turncoats, but they do know how to carbonate their water. Yes, they sure do. Thank you, Frenchie. Thank you, Perrier. When we had left, 59 minutes had passed, and the good Miss Millicent Darby, the oldest prisoner in the prison, was given the duty of strapping Kitty Chai to the chair. Old Sparky. She had helped put away many a man on this chair. It's the first time a woman had ever been fastened to its wooden arms with the leather straps.
All right now there, Kitty. Don't be afraid. I'm going to strap you down really tight to make sure the electrical current gets right through your porcelain skin.
There was something strange, though, about Millicent Darby. She was somewhat of a fortune teller, or some called her a witch. She had a warning for those in the audience.
All right, now listen here, folks. If you stare too intently at the murderous criminal before you, you may see her in your visions when you go to sleep tonight. Or you may be visited by a certain belonging of hers. Do not stare too intently into her eyes.
Just at that moment, there was a crack of thunder and pouring rain that had been described in the radio. Yes, the rain and thunder were growing so loud that the roads had been washed away. All that were witness to the crime punishment tonight would have to stay in the prison.
Kitty, this is your last chance to give me some direction. Any desires you have for me to carry out after you're gone?
A mirror, Millicent. If you think about it, you've killed more men than I.
Kitty Chai took a moment and addressed them with her last words, haunting, chilling words, words of foreboding revenge.
Freeze! Freeze the thought that is in your head right now. May that thought be imprinted in your mind forever. If it is ill will towards me, I promise you I will answer it in life or death. Hear me. Flip the switch.
seconds of the clock ticked as the audience sat waiting for the phone to ring by the governor.
My hand is shaking. My hand's never shook before. I hope I flicked the switch properly.
People couldn't help but stare. They all looked at the woman with the crazy eyes, staring back at them.
Why are you worried?
5 seconds before the governor's call. 3, 2, 1.
Goodbye, Kitty.
The switch was pulled, and crazy electric sounds, screams, gasps from the gallery. Suddenly, the lights went out, and when they came back on, the chair was empty.
Well, where'd you go? Wait a minute.
Now, friends, remain calm, remain calm.
I didn't do a thing. She was right here.
Millicent, what trickery is this?
I didn't do it. I said, get your hands off me, guys. It wasn't me. I had a distracting good.
All right. Let's not make a fuss. This is probably a perfectly clear scientific explanation for all of this.
I just want to go home, George.
What do you mean I'm gonna burn for this? I'm not in cahoots with him. Let me go.
The people in the audience began to panic. They tried the doors, but the doors were locked.
Let us out! Let us out!
Everyone, stop it.
Suddenly, the warden fired off his warning pistol.
All right, that's it. And another one for good measure. All right now. Clearly none of us can explain what just happened here. We once saw a woman fry before our very eyes, and now she's materialized into thin air.
This is a trick!
He tried to calm everybody down by reaching for the knife that he kept nearby, hanging on the wall. When he went for it, it wasn't there.
I told you this wouldn't work on a woman.
Where's his calming knife? I'm not calm!
It's right over here. I kept it by my...
No,
Wait
it's
a
not
minute.
there.
I'm not calm either.
All right, everybody, just stay still now.
What? The knife was just here. It's as if all memory, everything that Kitty was, that she embodied, is now gone. Or is she really?
Where did Kitty go? We find ourselves in the library, where one Hilary Serena was putting away library books. It was one of the jobs they gave to the trusted ones. She read a passage from her favorite book, a love story. A story that was once hers when she was a free woman.
And as they walked hand in hand down the road, she knew he would never leave her side. Yeah, right, never leave her side. Never leave her side unless he's killed by somebody, unless... What's that? The lights just went out. Oh, yeah. Kitty.
She had a room to herself now. She could speak freely about how she really felt about Kitty.
You know what? I wish her dead. Not just because the lights are out and it feels all calm and peaceful here for a second, but I lived with that crazy dame for 20 years, and I'm just in here for kiting bad checks.
Suddenly it felt cold. Very cold. Not the kind of cold when someone turns down the temperature, but the kind of cold it feels right before you
Let me
die.
just put this book down and come here off this tall ladder.
Funny.
Wait a minute, why aren't the lights back on now? It's freezing in here, and they must be finished already with... What is that?
I always
Hello?
wished you dead too.
Kitty? Kitty, no. The lights went out. I swear you must have been dead. You gotta be dead, Kitty. You were...
But how was she moving
You're not here.
towards her? Her feet weren't even touching the ground. She floated towards her like a balloon in a wispy wind.
Come over here.
I don't wanna put the... What's in your hand? Take it around my throat. No, I don't want to eat it. What is that, Kitty?
It's a familiar sight.
Hillary.
You see, come with me. It's not so bad.
No, my neck, my throat.
I'm dying
has completely changed. How about you, Brian?
I agree, Susan St. Peahl. Why, normally I'm into delicious down-home American cooking like Grandma used to make. And when my friends thought, why, Mexican food, that's just downright. But after having Rosita's tortillas, I feel like a new man.
And speaking of new men, we've just shipped a bunch more of our boys off to Europe. And with the boys overseas, we've got to conserve our resources. Did you know that Rosita's flour tortillas can also be used to diaper your baby?
And a great use for rationing, and an absorbent enough to clean a rifle. An American GI's rifle.
Why, thanks, Rosita's flour tortillas.
Rosita's flour tortillas. Yeah. Rosita's flour tortillas. Why, those Mexicans are resourceful. 50% of those tortillas are made of cardboard. But you wouldn't know because they taste delicious. Thanks, Rosita. That bell was the sound of number 22. When the guard, what's his name, Harry Gardinus, heard the sound of a scream, he came running to the library with Millicent Darby.
What's going on in there? What's going on?
And they came upon a body, and next to that body a wax carving that looked remarkably like that body.
Why, it's Hillary Serena.
Yes, yes. Why, she was just in here putting away books. She was one of the good ones.
Wait a minute now. Them carvings in the cell were all men, but this one's a woman, and it looks just like Miss Serena.
Yes, and I took art history. I can see that the carving style is the same.
Oh, was it a woman? It moved the body and a wig fell off her head.
Wait a minute. Hillary was Hilario the whole time.
That explains his broad shoulders and 5 o'clock shadow he had every day at 5 o'clock.
Those narrow hips, I never believed she could have had 5 kids.
Wait a minute. We gotta go back and look at the faces on them carvings in the cell and see who they really are. Maybe they're people who are still alive. Maybe we can stop it.
And look at this. There's a tiny wax wig that I can knock off this figure. She knew the whole time.
Hold on. There's a figure here under the bench. Why? It looks like you!
Wait.
No, it's you! Look at that!
Yes,
No,
it was a
that's
very
not-
effeminate-looking wax figure in a guard uniform.
You got that soft skin and those sort of full, luscious lips.
No, my eyes are not that close together.
Sure they are.
Also, my hairline is not...
Yes,
It
it
really
was
is.
uncanny. It was him. Millicent Darby didn't want to be around him.
I don't want no part of this, I tell you. I don't want no part
No,
of
you
it.
stay near me, Millicent.
You let
Millicent!
go of me right now. You let go.
We got to stick together. Who knows if we'll find a figure of you.
I ain't sticking with a dead man. I'm taking my chances and I'm running over to Big Shirley. Big Shirley will protect me from anything.
And with that, she slapped him and got away.
Oh! Well, my gun! Don't take my gun!
Leaving Karen Gardinus alone, he was panicked, running through the hallways.
Oh,
He tried desperately to get into a cell and lock himself in, but his keys were gone.
well, I keep dropping things and losing things. Half these lights are off, the other ones are blinking on and off.
He made it into the area, yes. The showers. The woman's showers. He
I'll
would
be
hide
safe
there.
in here. Anything happens, I can take one of these hard bars of soap and clock somebody with it.
He decided he needed to get clean, undressed himself, and began taking a hot shower. That calmed him.
Yes, I feel totally safe with this. What?
The steam was so thick, he couldn't see anything, but he heard the sound of laughter.
Terry, you remember that time when my mother drove all the way from Tuscaloosa to see me? You said no.
Who here would know Kitty's mother? I'm the only one who was here for that visit. Everyone else was on furlough.
I think you're right.
He got nervous, he dropped the soap.
Where are you? How'd you get away from that chair? Tell me everything.
Tell you everything, huh, Terry?
Sure.
How about I tell you about the time when you kept food for me for a week? How about that time, Terry? How about, oh, don't fall?
Well, your figure was getting out of shape. I wanted to help you.
He was backing himself up into a corner, when all of a sudden,
This floor is slippery.
he saw a woman holding a radio with a plug that was plugged into the wall.
Well, no.
He was standing in a puddle, ankle deep of water. What's she going to do with it?
Have pity. Have pity.
How about a little Tommy Dorsey?
And with that, she put the Tommy Dorsey music on to play his last song, an electrifying tune.
You know, I only love classic.
Meanwhile, down the hallway, Millicent Darby had finally found the warden, Mr. Charles Alford. Charles was putting away a book that he had been scribbling in. He seemed frightened, like he was caught doing something wrong.
What you got there, Warden?
Hello. I didn't think anybody was here.
Hey, wait a minute. You don't look so calm. You're usually pretty pulled together there.
The book was titled, it had a mysterious title on it, People I Framed.
Hey, I didn't see nothing, Warden. I didn't see that. I don't know nothing.
No, this book, this is just a mysterious title. Framed is an artwork. Yes, that's it.
Millicent Darby didn't believe him. She grabbed it, pulled it, and on the first page, she saw her own name and the description of the crime she allegedly committed.
Hey, wait a minute, you. I never murdered nobody. And I never stole nothing. I thought I was in here because I couldn't take care of my children during the Depression. And nobody ever came to get me out. And you framed me. You framed me, you creep. You framed me. This big, fat, heavy book is going to crack your head right open. You framed me.
Not if I have anything to say.
He grabbed the book from her and grabbed her frail neck.
Not if I have anything to say upon it. This is my pen, and justice will prevail.
And with that, he squirrels her neck like an overripe banana.
My eyes.
Yes.
Bulging.
Yes. Sing the tune of justice.
Wait, I see Kitty. In my thoughts, I see.
That was a close one. If any of the other people in this prison found out that I have been using this as a secret torture chamber for my own twisted designs of justice, then I'll surely be done for.
He made an announcement on the loudspeaker to everyone that was still there, reassuring them that all was well.
Hello, everyone, patrons, staff, and guests who are staying overnight due to the bad weather. This is Warden Alfred speaking. Just wanted to let you know that it's now lights out. There's now a peaceful night ahead of us, and you can all rest easy because you are in a maximum state penitentiary where no evil can escape.
He turned off the announcement and saw the wax figures in the cell of one Kitty child. He took a closer look and noticed that the other 20 of them were all him.
Yes, I'll place this one here, just as she, all of her victims. All this confiscated evidence. Why, that one's me, and that one's me, and that one, and the other, and they're all me.
He had pinned all those murders on poor Kitty Child. He had committed them. She was just a poor half-wit girl who had been an easy dime to point the finger at.
Well, I just thought it was going to be a quick dispensing of a 1 2-bit thug, that's all. What's all this crazy stuff happening now? Have all of these... No, it can't be. No,
Damn it! We'll find out after this brief cigarette break from Marlboro Cigarettes.
Doctor, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just feel tired and listless. I've got no energy, and I don't know. I eat right and I exercise. What am I missing?
Well, what brand of cigarettes do you smoke, Mrs. Phillips?
Smoke? I don't smoke.
This is the 20th century and nigh on halfway through. You don't smoke?
No, could that be my problem? Could that be what's making me gain weight and feel listless?
Well, do you chew tobacco?
No, in fact, I don't.
Do you use snuff?
No.
Well, I'd say we better get you started. And not smoking's the easiest and the most delicious.
Hey, is that a prescription you're writing for cigarettes?
Well, it's actually exactly that. Nurse?
Yes, doctor, I have the lab results. Congratulations. You're going to have a baby.
Oh, fantastic. I guess I'll really need those cigarettes now.
And not just any cigarettes. Now that I know you're pregnant, I know that you want Marlboro. For the
Are
brightest,
those the safest and most hygienic?
and your baby will grow up strong, with powerful lungs, flashing eyes, and probably a boy.
And then I'll say, thanks, Marlboro.
Marlboro cigarettes. Listen to that sound. That's me inhaling a Marlboro cigarette. That's the sound of satisfaction. Thanks, Marlboro. Now back to our chilling tale. Kitty has a knife. Warden Charles Alfred was making his way out the back door of the prison. He was fumbling with his keys. Yes. He couldn't find his way. Queerly, he ended up in the area where the executioner's chair was, on the other side of the one-way mirror, where one Kitty Chai was supposed to have been put to death. The audience had fallen asleep. It was late in the night, and all was calm. He found himself locked in the room.
The last of all the times to get locked in this chamber here, I could have sworn I left my keys in my breast pocket. Hello? Open up! Can anybody hear me? That sound.
Take a seat, Warden. Take it from me. It's comfortable.
Kitty Chai herself.
He couldn't control himself. It was as if he were a puppet on a string of a marionette operated by a mad woman.
No, I'm the hand of justice. You're just the pawn. How can I be moving? The smell of acrid smoke, burned smoke and rotting flesh as it fills my lungs. My arm is moving as though it's someone else is controlling it.
Yes, he was strapping himself into the chair.
Yes, we do. We live in a nation of checks and balances, and you're going to check out.
And with that, he even fit the metal casing around his own head.
The cranium dome, the metal dome, I can't stop it lowered over my head.
Coincidentally, he had a wet sponge and began sponging his head right on where the electrodes were.
No, I'm positioning it right where the nodes are located, as though it'll fry my brain the second the switch turns on.
And with his last free hand, he pushed a buzzer, waking all of the audience up.
My hand, no.
What's happening? It's the warden!
What's going on?
Yes.
He's frying.
He wasn't fried yet. As he, before the switch was turned, he gave his last words that were being spoken from within. The voice of one Kitty Chai spoke for him.
Well, I suppose I must be your last words, Warden. What? What's happening?
That's queer.
How about I am a crook?
What?
I am a no good, dirty man.
He admitted to killing all of the victims' family members.
What? Burn him!
Number 20.
Die!
Oh,
Number 21.
we're so sorry.
Stop
Kitty.
it!
It was all me. I thought I could be the hand of justice.
Pull the switch.
I'll throw it
The
myself!
last seconds of the clock tick before the sound of the governor's phone call that would surely never come. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. She had a smile on her face, and she was dressed in the warden's clothes.
Was this real? Is it a nightmare?
Madness, I say.
We hear the inner thoughts of Kitty Child before this story comes to an end, a foreboding warning for those who seek revenge.
Don't prey upon the innocent. We have our limitations in this material world, but oh, in the other world, so much limitlessness, and the all-seeing eye. Only you know your heart and your will.
Our curtain draws close on another horrific tale from the Liquid Radio Players. Good night, mares.